Throughout the last several decades, Disney has more or less monopolized millions, but it feels like billions of childhoods with its featured films. I mean, each one of their mascots are iconic. They only produce animated franchises through Pixar. The superhero genre has essentially been bought up by Disney, and if you're looking for a sci-fi escape, best believe you're not escaping the mouse there either. However, 2023 has been an interesting year for the House of Mouse. Speculation has continued throughout as to whether or not superhero fatigue has well and truly set in, which has impacted the cash cow that is Marvel. Other films such as Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, The Little Mermaid, and Elemental have all failed to meet expectations. Unless something crazy happens this year, it will be the first time since 2014 that Disney has failed to put out a film that generates $1 billion in revenue. Between Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and everything else Disney, it feels like the company has stagnated and is very much cruising through the motions as the top player around. And I mean, who could blame them? After Disney bought 21st Century Fox for over $70 billion, it pretty much confirmed that when it comes to family entertainment, Disney is king. But what if a genuine competitor to their throne was beginning to emerge? A company that arguably has the resources, reach, and history to compete. What if Nintendo came into Mickey Mouse's clubhouse and f***ed it all up? The last few years have been pretty good going for the Japanese company. The Nintendo Switch is comfortably the third best-selling console of all time. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe went past the 50 million copies sold mark. Super Nintendo Worlds opened up in Japan and at Universal Studios Hollywood, with two other sites currently in construction at Universal Studios Singapore and Universal Epic Universe in Florida. And finally, earlier this year, we witnessed the Super Mario Bros. Movie gross over $1.3 billion. The film went on to break records such as the biggest worldwide opening for an animated film, knocking Disney's Frozen 2 off the top spot. It became the highest grossing film based on a video game and became the 16th highest grossing film of all time. And it's the Super Mario Bros. Film where I think we're only witnessing the very start of Nintendo's march with truly expanding their reach beyond just gaming. For any company to challenge the absolute juggernaut that is Disney, you'll need IPs and lots of them. Now, if only I could think of a company that has an abundance of recognizable mainstream characters. Oh wait, Nintendo is the perfect source of major franchises. Mario, Pokemon, Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, Kirby, and Animal Crossing continue to keep Nintendo relevant even after decades since they first came into the world. Especially Pokemon and The Legend of Zelda, Nintendo has franchises that have so much potential to grow their fortunes. Like if Hollywood is looking to replace the void that is Harry Potter, why not adapt and create a Pokemon film series around Ash? After the resounding success of the Super Mario Bros. Film, as well as the initial moderate success seen from Detective Pikachu, which arguably could have achieved greater success if it was a full-on Pokemon film with Ash, Nintendo could really make themselves a big player in media. This is an area where perhaps Nintendo has been pretty slow to sink their teeth into, and that is purely intentional on their part. After the box office and critical bomb that was the Super Mario Bros. Film that was released back in 1993, Nintendo were rightfully a lot more protective over their IPs. Just imagine the carnage if Disney let someone have temporary control over Mickey Mouse and utterly tore apart the source material. But now I think Nintendo should feel more confident with beginning to carve their stake in the family film business. Mario has already proven that he can do that. If you were to list out the most iconic mascots of all time, I am betting that Mario and Mickey Mouse are making pretty much everyone's top 3. If Nintendo were to play this right, there's no reason why Mario can't become a regular fixture across all forms of media, including films, and more importantly, competing with Mickey Mouse in the TV space. Don't become deluded here, by the way. Disney is not going anywhere. They're simply too big to fail at this point. The worst thing that could happen to a company like Disney is having its influence and grasp over the family media business wane a little. I'm very much a believer that competition is a good thing. With how Nintendo is playing this so far, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 10 years, the opening line of their Wikipedia page no longer states that they're a multinational video game company, but instead are described as a multinational media company. Between new theme parks heading our way, a path laid out in the movie business, a follow-up to the Switch, and leveraging their franchises in various ways, Nintendo is putting the pieces together to potentially replace Disney as the go-to family company. I'm very curious to hear what you all think about this. Could Nintendo become a serious competitor to Disney? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.